Hi, welcome to the second episode of Rick's Music Collection. I'm Rick Olivares. I'm a freelance journalist who also is a teacher. I teach writing and communications. My career early on was in advertising and marketing, so I did get around that kind of career in communications. And for people who know me, I'm a massive music fan. I've been listening to music since I was 5 years old. I got my first records when I was in grade five. I started buying my first records when I was in grade six, and I never looked back. I did stop in the early 1990s buying vinyl as I switched to compact discs. I would buy the odd record every now and then, especially if they were punk rock records, I would buy them. But for the most part, I was getting compact discs. And that all changed around 2012 when I started getting vinyl again, one by one, not too much. But I went back into it full time around 2014 or 15 thereabouts, and I've not looked back since. And as you can see, that's my record collection. There are about 2,100 of them. There used to be a whole lot more. I've probably lost around 1,000 records before I came back to vinyl in 2012. I lost them because when we moved houses, I think my mom threw out some of them. When I moved abroad to Hong Kong in the United States, I think my mom threw out more of them. But I did keep a lot of them, especially when I came back home. I moved them to my place in San Juan, and those are the ones that survived. And a fire hit my parents' place, and I lost even more records. But I there's very few that I don't have anymore. But what you'll see in this second episode are my Pinoy rock compact discs from the 1990s till about the first 5, 6 years of the new millennium. Okay, then you will see others like Ang Bandang Shirley, Up Dharma Down, other CDs in another video because this is just part one. And my compact discs for uh, Pinoy rock, there's about 500 or 600 of them, maybe more. I've lost count, and you're gonna notice that 99% of them are near mint condition. That's because I bought them the first time around, and I take good care of everything that I collect, everything. And it's hard when you're when you buy online because not many people are very good at grading. You know, what is mint to you? As in that mint means it's brand new. It's never been opened, never been played. That's mint. Near mint, it's been opened. You probably played it, but just once or twice, and that's about it. And it's in great condition. But a lot of people say mint is, it's, it has just nicks in the edges, but they still consider it um, mint, and it's got scratches. That's not mint. A lot of people, their grading system is just horrible. I'll show you what mint is. Let's start off with the first CD, 13 Needles. As far as I know, this is their only release. And I think Cab 1 is their single from this. If you recall bands like Fuel from the early years of the new millennium, they sound like pretty good band. Agawagimat, I have two of their albums. You'll see only one in this particular video. Guerrilla Ballroom, really awesome. Great stuff. I thought that this might be perhaps their best album, just in my opinion. Cynthia Alexander, her first album, Insomnia and Other Lullabies. But it was this one, Ripping Yarns, that really put her on the map. And as you can see there from the hype sticker, soundbuzz.com, when I got this, I got it along with Sheila and the Insects. Walk Down the Road, Cynthia Alexander. Ang Bandang Shirley theme songs. Second album of Ang Bandang Shirley, Tama na ang Drama. Split CD, Willow Low, and Orchestra. Archipelago, travel advisory. And this band I really love, Backdraft. I saw them multiple times at the old Club Dread in EDSA, as well as in Ateneo. Uh, really good metal stuff. You know, Barbie's Cradle. When this came out, I was able to buy 2 copies, one of which Barbie signed for me during the launch, and I also have a copy of the poster that that featured the cover of this one, and she signed it for me. I have it. I'll show you another video with my paraphernalia. Uh, Oops, I think I jumped over there. Let's start off with Bad Burn. Bad Burn, Bound by Blood, uh, Marvin Romero. I remember when this came out, I got 2 of them, 2 copies of that album. And I still have both of them. The other one is the one that I play a lot. The other one I just got it to keep, just in case. Darkness Rising from Bad Burn. And here's another album from Bad Burn. Show some of my bamboo CDs. As you can see, they're all in plastic, and I like to keep them in plastic to protect the jewel case from getting scratched. Okay. As the music plays from Bamboo. I'm gonna give it Light Peace Love, and that superb cover. Look at that cover. Just love it. Yeah. We stand alone together, Bamboo. More stuff from Bamboo. Tomorrow Became Yesterday. And Bless This Mess. I have some of his other stuff, but you'll see that later. Again, I'll show this because it went out of order. Barbie's Cradle. And yeah, special edition release of this album. Music from the Buffet Table. I did get the standalone CD, not the deluxe edition. And I do have it, but what I'm showing you here is the deluxe edition. It comes with a free bonus VCD and there you go. Videos for Money for Food and the Dance. Okay? And it's signed. It's signed. So all my old Barbie Malbis albums are signed. Here's another one that's all signed, Playing the Fields. Barbie is actually a neighbor. She lives about 1 block away. If I'm going to go to her house, it's going to take me about a 4-minute walk if I get to her place. Barbie the Singles, signed also. And here. She signed it to Barbie Rocks the Big Dome, signed as well. And Goodbye My Shadow, signed. Now this band, when they put out their one and only album, I remember they were on the cover, the second issue of Pulp magazine, if I'm not mistaken, but definitely the first 5 issues of Pulp, they were in the cover. That really good stuff. Good stuff. Rico Blanco, first solo album, The Universe. I also have the vinyl of this one. And Galactic Fiesta-matic. Okay. Boy Elroy, Better Place. Ellie Buendia, Haunted Bed Spacer. Cambio, Derby Light. More Cambio, Matic. The Camera Walls, Pop Guide to the Other Road. And the other version, different art, also have second album, The Camera Walls. And circuses, the charms, cheese. Man, I saw these guys a lot. Their second album, Pilipinas. Cheese, the complete collection. And of course, later on they became Queso, and I also have that. Chicasai, Revenge of the Giant Robot. Chicasai, Method of Briefing. This is an outstanding album. Much better than the first one. Icarus, Chicasai. Another very good album. Chicasai. I think I've, their Fly Back Parts album from Chicasai. This is not a Chicasai. And this one is still sealed. Children near the pilgrimage. Okay. I do have two copies of that one. Oh, this one. This next album I absolutely love. Neo Soul, Chilipies, Extra Rice. Fantastic album. And I have two actually. The other one is signed. This one too. The second album, Soul, is also signed. Signed by Dan, Hill, and Uella. Citric Maple, comic book superhero by my friend Mark Del Rosario. I have two copies of this one as well. Shudad. Ah. Hello, how are you, Miko the Happy Bear, your baby? One of my favorite bands, Shudad. And look at that. Is that Shudad? Yes, son, it's me. They've got a sense of humor. Huh? It's like a magic. Taken at the parking lot of the Ateneo College. As the band is from the Ateneo. Bring your friends. Let me just put it down there. More Shudad. Follow the leader. Cog. These guys are brilliant. Featuring my friend Richie Ramos. Brilliant. Calling. Also from Cog. Really a good follow-up album. And Colored Red, Hand Painted Sky, the debut. Look at that one. It's in superb condition. I just love this band. Second album of Colored Red. Their third one, Pop Fiction. Change of pace for this band. And this other album from Colored Red. I do have all this stuff. So there. Silver from Colored Red. And this next one is from Corporate Lo-Fi. I love this one. Mixing hip hop with a lot of other genres. Now this band is the first ever band that I signed to Universal Records, that is Tribe, which was managed by my old Ateneo classmate Patrick Weidenmack, who also on Club Dread. And we got these guys signed, and we sold 20,000 copies of this debut album. I love it. I really love this album. It's great to be a part of that. There's another story about that I'll tell you in another video. That is tried. Wo Pilipinas. Okay. Daydream Cycle. Underwater Kite. Dicta License. The EP. You this came out after No Seat Affair. And during the launch for this EP, it was at Freedom Bar, Along Anonymous. Paghilom, their proper first album, Pick the License. Terrific man. Electric Kool Aid, Taste. Okay, and now we're gonna come to my Eraserhead CDs. Ultra Electromagnetic Pop in fantastic condition, and as you can see, it's got this BMG promotional, not for sale. Um, Being a record executive back then, I was able to swap a lot of the CDs with my fellow record executives. And look at the condition of that one. Believe it or not, this has never been paid because you know, I did buy myself a copy of this one, but eventually I traded it for something else, much some time ago. So I kept the ones with the labels that says promo copy, circles. You know, again with the promotional copy, not for sale. Caterpillar. Fruitcake. Also the seal. Sticker happy. Now you know what I used to have a lot of their CD singles, and when we moved from San Juan to my current place here in Marikina, I mistakenly threw them out. My mistake is I was getting rid of some stuff, and I think they were in a bag that I actually put in the garbage pile, and absolutely regret it. This Tamagotchi baby was there, Maselang Bagari, and halungkot that I because of my stupidity, I lost all my Eraserhead singles and CD singles. Aloha Milky Way, again with the uh, I traded it with Just One Chua. Just One would be sending me all this stuff. Napin, 99. Now this one, Carbon Stereoxide, my original copy of this, I think I lost it to the fire. Because when I moved to the US, I shipped I shipped a lot of my CDs to the US with me, and I didn't realize that some of them were left behind because we were moving also houses, and usually I'm very good at packing things, but some boxes got left, and it was destroyed during the fire, so I didn't manage to get another copy without the promo seal, but that's okay. The Himig 19 series, Himig ng Dekada series from BMG, Razorheads, the singles. The first anthology. Okay. Now, the second one, I also lost this. This is one of those that was left behind, and it's not in the best of shape, but I was able to get another one. I'll take it. I'll take it. Of course, this one from the Esquire magazine, and I'm just happy to be able to get this Sabado in 1995. Have two copies of that one. This is another band that I tried to sign back in the 1990s. Cattle Posporos, pay-per-view. They eventually went to BMG. I still do have two copies of this, and I have the original invite to their show at the Hard Rock Cafe in Kati. Still have that. Franco, I have two versions of this. One which is signed by the entire band. And you'll see that later on in one of the other videos that I'll be doing. Franco, Soul Adventures. Frank. Francis M. Okay, the story of Francis M. The collections. And Yo. That is Francis M. And meron akong ano. So, because I was able to get the box set, I was able to let go of the other CDs that I had. That's fine, I guess, you know. Freeman, superb album. Arguably his best after Yo, if not the best. It's just a superb album. Francis M at the height of his powers. For those who know me, Francis was Kiko was a very good friend. We were barkada for about a couple of years, for a good four years when I first met him through the late Rolly Manlapas, Jelly Bean, who was a DJ then. And as I understand him, Francis Magalona radio show preceded Rolly Manlapas's here at Broadcast City, and sometimes we'd pick up Francis and then we'd go out to Green Hills and all that. Sometimes we'd head out to my place where we play video games and just read comic books and just make kulitan all day long. Sometimes we'd go to Francis's house and he'd show me his collection, his record collection, his comic book collection as well, and he'd play us some music, but not all the time. Happy Battle. And late in another of my later videos, I'll show you some of my signed cassettes from Francis because when Yo first came out, I bought it on cassette. It wasn't yet available on compact disc. It would only be available a few years later. So I got it on cassette and Francis signed it. He signed it during the day of my eldest son's baptism. And he didn't want to be a ninong, but he was there for the binyag of my eldest son, Matthew. The Adventures of Mr. Cool, superb album. Interscholastic. Freeman 2. The best of Francis M. Francis M. It's greatest hits. Encounters with the Yeti. Post-rock music. I love this. It's a really good album. And I used to play this a lot. Once in a while, I still listen to it. The Gentle Isolation. It started with an April shower. Indie pop stuff from Lily Stars Records. The debut of General Luna. I have their second album, but you'll see that in another video because it's grouped with the ones that don't fit in jewel boxes. Okay? Yeah, along with the Eraserheads, the box set, since it does not fit in the jewel. These are all jewel boxes. Okay? Greyhounds, their debut album, Seven Corners of the Game. Terrific record. And I remember during their launch at Club Dread, and they also did a whole tour, and it's just really fantastic. They're along with Slapshot and Cheese, they were just really killing it out there with rap metal. And I have to admit, the Hounds were my favorite, but eventually I would move on to Slapshot. They would become my favorite band of that era. Of the new metal bands, but Greyhounds, and this is just an incredible debut album. Now this came out in an issue of Pulp. It's a freebie, as you can see. It says not for sale. and happy to have that. Their second album. Okay. I think I got that at Tower Records, if I'm not mistaken. Apoy. Simply a very good band. Execution style from Greyhounds. Grin Department. The Happy Meals. Hidden Mickey. Their independently produced debut before they went to Toti Dalmatian's label. And this is it. Hidden Mickey, and they went to Terno Recordings. Yeah. Okay. Hilera. Two of their albums. There's the other one, Nut House. Earlier, you saw my Barbie Malvis stuff, whether it's Barbie's Cradle or solo stuff, and this is where we got introduced to her genius, Hungry Young Poets, and she signed it too. Very good album. Imago. Probably not, but most definitely. And this is our introduction to the wonderful vocalist that is Aya De Leon. Superb talent. Yeah. Take two. Blush. The last that featured Aya with Imago. Isha. Celts Cross. Revenge of the Fishlets. Their one and only album. Locomotive. Rock and Roll Death Doll. Solid album. Mayonnaise. More mayonnaise. And even more mayonnaise. Pula. Mojo Fly. Million Stories from Mojo Fly. Monster Bot. Moonstar 88. Press to Play. I love this album, Press to Play. Okay. This year. Kitchen Dao. And okay. Narda. Let me open this because these are their EPs, and I'm hoping to put them out on vinyl. Sa Laginto at sa Lagubang. Burador. Suerte. And the postcard from Narda. Just really good stuff from one of my favorite Filipino bands. I love their old sound, and then suddenly they shifted into something more electronica. And this is the result. You know, Disco Tilion. And as you know, it came with an OB strip. The OB strips right there. As you know, they re-recorded this album into Disco Trillion. It'll be out on vinyl from Backspacer Records. And can't wait to get my copies of that one. Formica? Yeah. And some more stuff here. Nancy Drew. The Mystery of the Clueless Heart. Never the Strangers. The Octaves. One of the post-Erase Red bands of Ellie Bondia. The debut album of Orange and Lemons, Love in the Land of Rubber Shoes and Dirty Ice Cream. This is the original Terno release when the band re-recorded the album about 5-6 years ago. I also have a copy, and you'll see that in another video. Strike while the iron is hot. Moonlane Gardens. As you know, we're putting out the vinyl of Love in the Land of Rubber Shoes and Dirty Ice Cream. We're putting it out in vinyl. We should be having that by August of this year, so watch out for that one. It's the re-recorded version, not the one that came out under Terno Recordings. Orphan Lily. Outer Hope. Strange Bird. Love this. A Day for the Accent from Outer Hope. Paramita. Tala. The next CD you're going to see is something that's very dear to me because this is the second band that I signed to Universal Records after Daddy Strike. Parokya ni Edgar. Kangkong Meets the album, and I was acknowledged in the liner notes or in the credits by the band. The band's second album. And these guys, who would have thought that they'd be still making a lot of great music after all these years, right? Jingle Ball, Silent Night, Holy Cow, Parokya ni Edgar. Gulong Itlog Gulong. Great album. This is like the first two albums were songs that they had written during their high school and college days, and this one was just a new batch of songs, and with Pizza Pie, and I have the CD single of Pizza Pie. You'll see that also. Parokya ni Edgar Inuman Sessions, Volume 1. Okay. Halina sa Parokya. Take on Sesame Street and all that. Solid. I love it because they never seem to have lost that sense of humor of theirs. Middle-aged juvenile novelty pop rockers. Inuman Sessions, Volume 2. Oggy Years Old. All you'll see more of their stuff because, as I said, I'm showing only the ones that came out in jewel boxes, at least for this second episode of Rick's Music Collection. Steel and Dawn. Medicam, Tugistach. What a debut album. Medicam, man. Shinji, labas mo na ang helicopter. The third album of Pedicab. Yeah, I take good care of my stuff, but once in a while I drop the case, and that's how you see it crack. Yeah. Pin Up Girls, hello thing. And then after that, we saw them sign with an indie label in the United States. More Pin Up Girls. Plane Divides the Sky. Another Ateneo band. Second album of Plane Divides the Sky. EOT, when it first came out, as I recall, we sold it for 250 pesos. That's why it had a special price. That was the first press of EOT. This is the second, the remastered one, and it's still sealed. Because I have 3 copies of this one. Pupil. Okay, so, yeah. Razorback, Heavy Cut Sounds Volume 1. Now, the next ones you'll see are my River Maya CDs. I lost their first couple of CDs because of Ondoy. And it's been tough to replace them because they're so darn expensive. And it's sad because when people resell them, they're not in the, as I said earlier, they're not in the mint condition that they claim it is. And, so let's start off with this one. The Himig ng Dekada series, River Maya Greatest Hits. Free. Okay. Got this during the I met up with Rico Blanco at the ABS-CBN. I interviewed him then. Signed my River Maya CDs and I got this from him. He also gave me a copy during the Indie Rock Awards, and I gave that copy away to a friend of mine, Tuloy and Ligaya. As you can see, it's signed by Rico. Between the Stars and Waves, a magnificent album. They were in the Brit rock phase. Actually, from the previous album, Tuloy ang Ligaya, they had that Brit rock phase already. They were in that. And here's the special edition with Liwanag sa Dilim. You'll be safe here. Live and acoustic featuring Slapshot. Greatest Hits 2006. Isang Dugo. You'll see more of my other River Maya CDs later on. Rizal Underground, their debut album. Unfortunately, I lost Discaril to Ondoy. Have not been able to replace that. Grip Stand Throw. superb and magnificent debut from Sandwich. 4-track mind. Thanks to the moon's gravitational pull. What a fetching cover, huh? 5 on the floor. The first with Raymond Marasigan as lead vocalist after Mark Abaya left. Okay. Contratiempo. I have 2 of these. Fat, Salt, and Flame. Agree. And as I said earlier, Sheila and the Insects that I bought along with Ripping Yarns of Cynthia Alexander. She's only 16, so you can see still has the price tag, $150. And this is a great album, Sleepwalk Circus, Great Secret Shop. Silent Sanctuary, monodramatic. Langit Luha from Silent Sanctuary. Some metal stuff here, in Audio Summon Flesh. Sky Church. Oh man, I saw these guys back in the day. Urge of the Human Device. Unaware, Unwarned. And these guys were just really awesome to watch back in Club Dread. Sky Church. Next ones will be Slapshot. My late friend Jamir Garcia, such a good friend. We'd sometimes go to watch hip hop shows together. Not too much, once in a while. And we were planning on working on something until his untimely passing. Sayang Jamir, let's see kung pagpatuloy natin. Tatanungin ko si Jaya kung dapat pang pagpatuloy. 4th Degree Burn, that magnificent debut of Slapshot. Massive, massive Slapshot fan. Head Trip. No sophomore slump for this band. They're just really awesome. And just when you think that they couldn't get any better, they hit you with this album, Project 1141. They just kept getting better and better at everything that they do. Silence. The fact that they've been around until the demise of Jameer, and they had a whole new generation of fans watching them, says something about the band's talent, not just their longevity. Cariño Brutal. Night Owls. I have 2 copies of this. This is the international edition. I also have the locally pressed version. Recollection. The others that are not in jewel cases, you'll see them in another video. Sonnet 58, this is the EP, Treasure Heaven. Probably less than 10 copies of this one, and I have one of them. This is given to me by Rommel one night in Greb because he asked if I was interested in signing them, and I really wanted to sign them. But not soon after that, I had left the music industry. And this is the complete Treasure Heaven, the complete album on CDR. Sponge Cola. More Sponge Cola. Sponge Cola, Transit Lux. I don't have a complete collection of other stuff. Sugar-free, sa wakas. Tala Arawan from Sugar-free. Mornings in airports. 100% Peter Tips. Drama Machine, I don't have. I lost it. I've been trying to get a new copy. Uh, you can find it once in a while, but the conditions just really not that great. Sugar Hiccup Oracle, standout debut album. This is one of those bands that I tried to sign back then. But because of Melody's mom working at BMG, that was a done deal. I was just really trying to get them to sign with Universal since we were distributing 480 records. We were hoping to put together a compilation album that would feature them. So still a wonderful debut. I love this. You know. Their magnificent second album. And then, you know, they went to the States. The 2-in-1 series, Sugar Hiccup. And this is the third album with Bea Alcala on vocals. With Tons and Thoughts. I have 2 copies of this one. Or probably 3. Some venues. Taken by Cars. An Ace of a New Kind. Duelist. Tanya Markova. Jackie Romantics. Ryan Villanas, other band. Really good stuff with Don B. I love that band and hoping to put them out in vinyl too. Escape from Jackie Romantics. Teeth, the greatest hits. One of those bands in red that I enjoyed watching, all female band Tribal Fish. And Talks, such a superb vocalist. And you'd think that for such a small girl that she wouldn't pack a punch with the kind of voice, but she did. She just really screamed and sang her up and out. And, you know, so, but when she got off stage, Talks was just a meek and mild-mannered girl. But to put her on stage, she was incredible. A live one, dynamo. True Faith, perfect. Memories are cheap. True Faith Live. Halo Halo. Eto Hits, acoustic. I love that cover right there. Big fan of this band. I saw them when they were first coming out. Former RT DJ Vincent Price was still their manager, and it was a friend back in the day. And Vince would call me and tell me, "Hey, you gotta watch this band, True Faith." And I saw one of their first ever shows at the atrium of SM Mega Mall, and they still had their new wave leanings back then. And, sometimes I even felt that they were, in spite of their pop leanings, you could see the new wave influence in that band. They were performing a bit different songs back then. Just simply amazing. Nedwin Marfil has become such a good friend. It's great to be found. Tungao's one and only album at Pandesal. You know, along with Fatal Phosphorus, their sister band, and there was Tungao, and they went to Diner Records. Well, as I said, Fatal Phosphorus was the band they tried to sign, but didn't happen. Twisted Halo, Spurred EP from Twisted Halo, Up Dharma Down, Fragmented. I have two copies of their first Terno release. You'll see that second copy along with the Japanese release of Sun Showers later on. Bipolar, also two copies of Bipolar. Why would I buy two copies? One to play, because I like it so much. And I would play one, and I have this tendency of playing them to death and all that. But who knows? If someone wants to trade for it, I'm open to trades. And this is a sealed copy of Capacities. I have two of them. As you can see, the price $400 from fully booked. This is the variant cover of Capacities. With Carlos on the cover. Your Imaginary Friends. I have two copies. The other one is signed by the entire band. Their follow-up, Silence is a Villain. Your now, they happen to be one of my favorite bands. And eventually, after the first two albums, where they were known as Your Imaginary Friends. So it's the first. One Dreamy Intergerminate Home, and then Silence is a Villain. By the third album, they changed name to We Are Imaginary. Death to Romanticism, third album. This is Wolfgang Acoustica. I lost all their first few albums to Pinoy and have not been able to replace them. Villains. Black Lantern. Wolfgang. And this one. Yeah, I know. When this album first came out, their debut album, I bought it at cassette, and I love that cassette tape. Loved it so much I bought a second one. And then when they put this out, I got the CD version. You no longer have the cassettes. Urban Dub. Birth. The Apparition. Urban Dub. Us Two, Evil Zero. The Vince Nair Project. Violent Playground. Primordial Soup. I still have their original demo that they gave to me back then. And they did go to Dyna. I wasn't able to sign them. 1896 on Pagsilang, and this one contains that amazing song from Sugar Hiccup Awa. If you ask me, that's the highlight of this album to celebrate the Philippine Centennial in 1996. A Dozen Alternatives. This is a good one. Baguio is there. Shampoo Ninola. Half-Life, Half-Death. Backdraft, of course, and then Grupong Pendo. I love that one. Mutual Admiration Society, Definition Records compilation, and this is a twee pop compilation featuring soft Pillow Kisses, Apple Orchard, Color Contest, The Fantasy Lights. You can see the bands over there. This has got to be one of the best ever releases locally. And I have to thank my friend Toti Dalmachon for this one. Such a great release. No Seat Affair. This one is known for featuring the first ever releases of Dictomyces and Tog. You know, Dictomyces, Criminal, the song Criminals here. And I remember when this came out, everyone saying that Poche Labo sounded so much like Zach De La Rocha of Rage Against the Machine. You know, people are scrambling to watch them. And I did. I saw them a bunch of times. Maybe 107 Rock Awards 1987. Um, who's over here? I think this is the first one that they ever put out on CD. Yano, Jun Lupito, and the Bodhisattvas. Sugar Hiccup is here, The Youth, The Breed, Shackle is here, Violent Playground, The Jerks, Eraserheads, POT, and Wolfman. All live performances at the 1997 awards. And we're trying to put it out in vinyl. We're hearing it for the first time. Okay. The next year, the 1998 NU Rock Awards. And came out in a blue jewel case. The E-Head, St. Alexander, Electric Kool-Aid, Colored Red, Orphan, Razorback, Indigo Eye, POT, Francis M, Kate Vista, The Breed, Crossroads, All-Star Wasteland, and Sugar. Um, I don't have a complete set of what NU put out on vinyl, on compact disc. I don't have a complete set. The Rock Awards 1999 and 2000. So this is a double disc. And a bunch of bands. So you get the idea. This for 2 years. I think they put out another one, but I don't have that anymore. So I just have that one. The alphanumeric sampler 502. And look at the bands over here. Sugar Hiccup, their first ever recordings. Marn, that was later re-recorded by Bea Alcala for the third album of Thoughts and Thoughts. Feet Like Prince here, Doubts Causes here. Creatures of Cathedral, Poppy Field, you know. And this is the second one, 507. This one had a different feel to it. Shockwave, Loads of Motherhood, Mass Carnage, Iconoclast, Fearless Freak. Totally different. Silver Shiny GP, Knowingly Band Compilation, Coffee Break Island, Heads, Imago, Melancholics, Bridge, Fat Elephant, Hemp Republic, so Katsky, Bobby Balit is here, Nardis, you know, Groundbeat All Stars, Monster Bot, and Neighbors. So different music, you have ska, you have reggae, you have indie rock, indie pop. NU 107's In the Raw, from Francis Brew. They, as I recall, this is the first time we had the Brown Beat All Stars on a proper recording with battery and wheel. Okay, look at those fans there. And then this one, Soundcheck to Live Recordings, Wolfgang, The Police, Razorback, and Williams. Ultra Electromagnetic Jam, Tribute to the Eraserheads, and this is just a wonderful CD. I have two of them. Such a great one. Another tribute, the reunion. Okay. Brown Beat All Stars. Two-Week Panic from the Brown Beat All Stars. Brown Man Revival, their debut EP coming soon, featuring the original lineup. And this is where the lineup changed. Steady now. Slim. I wasn't too crazy about their song, their album titles. And, ito pa. Uh, I commented about that to their manager. But, nakadating-dating yung mga titles ng albums. New Arrival. Parang wala lang. Coffee Break Island featuring the awesome Paul Pitian. Fully Dreaded the Microphone Commanders. Camp Republic. These are the reggae ska and dub stuff. Herb Culture from Olongapo. I saw them at 70s Bistro, wrote about them. Indio Eye, another of those bands that I tried to sign back then. Juan Pablo Dream, signed by Bing Austria. That's their debut Soul Up, and this is their second album. All the other guys left Brown and Revival before Milagros Dancehall Collective. That one. The OMRs. Pink Cow, Ska Punk. I also have the vinyl version of this one. This one of my prize CDs, one of the all-time great releases, because their debut album. In superb condition to this day. Second album, Manila's Finest. Reggae Mistress. Scabeche, Table for 10. Featuring the awesome Part of Me. Terrific song. Scarlet's solo album, The Powder Room Stories. That was a bit more jazz. Sunflower Day Camp. Tropical Depression, their first album, Kapayapaan. Unfortunately, I lost the second album to Android. I've been unable to get another copy. The wonderful island rhythms that pertains to the last recordings of Dominic Gamboa. It also has that amazing remake of the Juan de la Cruz's band, De La Cruz band's Himig Natin, featuring recorded by Tropical Depression with Pepe and Junior Killa. Dibby Nights, another compilation album of reggae, Philippine reggae. Radioactive Civil Project. Radioactive Civil Project, Urban Gulaman, their second album. And their third album that is one of the greatest album titles in Philippine rock history. Tangin na ang dami nagugutom sa mundo, fashionista ka pa rin. What a title, right? Ang Itlog at ang Demonyo from Radioactive Civil Project. So you have to pardon me, it's a rather long video, and this is only part one of my Pinoy Rock CD collection. Okay, we're down probably to the last 50 or 60 CDs in this first part. Barbie Almaldes. There's a difference here now. She signs this as Barbie Almaldes. Humanidad from the draw from Don Abay. Damo. Um, Don Abay Music Organization, and that came out on vinyl courtesy of Backspacer Records. I got this when it first came out, and as you know, I'm a Don Abay fan. Agaw Agimat, Mantra. As I said, I only have two of their albums, and that's the other one. Saint Alexander, this is her last album. I was there during her launch at the Music Museum. And that's where they sold that, and it sold out really quick. The Ambassadors. Now, why are some of these, like, if you'll see the next one, ang bandang Shirley, favorite, their third album, bakit siya nakiwalay dun sa earlier ones that I showed? Because this came out in the last couple of years. So, here. Apartheid. Autotelic. Had a really good time, Autotelic. Papunta pabalik. Rico Blanco's third solo album, Nating Gawin. A really good live band, the Bloomfields. Pasko natin to. I'm glad that they did a Christmas album, and this is their latest one, and Drop Into the Blue. Very, very good band. The Chiefs. The Dawn. Simulan na natin. I think this is the last one with Buddy Zabala. It's part of their lineup. Now, this one is an amazing um, piece of work. Nice social curve from complex disorders of adult life, volume 1 to 3. And what's a heartache? If you like 69 songs from Magnetic Fields, and you're gonna love this one. This is a heavy, heavy album. Be sure you're not doing anything to fully appreciate this album, but I tell you, after listening to this one, gamot sa heartache, talagang wasa ka talaga. Bagsak ka. Ganon ka bigat at lalim yung kanta to. They have a new album, and we'll be seeing that in the second video. This is Nice Social Curb's second album, Necro Love. Got this at Cubao X. The Adrenalines. My EPs. Give EPs a chance. Gaijin. Sunday Kodama. Don't you just love that cover? That's so Pink Floyd, isn't it? Alik ni Gringo. Metal band. Imago. Kapit. Kenyo. Post Orange and Lemons of the Del Mundo Brothers with McCoy Fundales. Harlika, their second album. Two Step Marv from Juan. I love that album. I think it's great. 13 Seconds to Love, Juan. Lovecore, Funk and Roll. Do you like the Red Hot Chili Peppers? Lovers of their opposites, and this is a really good album. Some gorgeous accident. Rockabilly from the Rodney Harris combo. Rockabilly Girl. See You in My Time. And the Rodney Harris combo came out in this Asian compilation called Dirty to Dirty Boogie, Rockabilly Volume 1. These are all Asian bands, along with the Bembol Rockers over here, another Filipino band. In Love and War, Francis Magalon and Ellie Bondia. The last recordings of Francis Magalona. Ellie had to finish it. Moig, Everything in Between. Second album of There Were the Strangers. Screenburn. O Flamingo. Maru, their debut. Ordinary Universe. Paranoid City. Frank Sinatra. The F Defect. Footlong Players. These guys have a sense of humor, but they're better seen live. They're an amazing live band. And my friend Ian and Leonardo, the Peel Sessions, they have a sense of humor. This is a really good album from Read Between the Lines. And this is the EP Battle Pride. We have two of that. I just love it band. And, Rusty Machine, City Lights, their debut. Sinisipat, signed by Kat Agalado. And she also signed my second album. Sleepyheads. The one and only album from Tom Story. This is a great post-rock album. One of the best ones you've had. And I recommend it to anyone who wants it, who likes post-rock music. Kate Turalba, Long Overdue. If you like Tori Amos and the pen music, you're gonna love Kate Turalba. Now these are the goth stuff. Okay. Mr. Bones and the Boneyard Circus. The late Isabel. I lost their debut album to Ondoy, and I've been unable to get, uh, you know, a replacement for that one. Ode to La Luna, Moonbreak, beautiful album. And this one, Scarlet Tears. This is all goth music, right? The last ones I'm going to show in this first video featuring my Pinoy rock CDs. This is Bold Star. It's a flip cover. It's in that DVD case. Okay. 20, Harap ni Edgar. Working titles. This is a CD containing, look at the music there. Okay. So they're foreign bands, but they're also local bands like Soda Jerk. Okay. And the Eraserheads box set, I have two of them. This is the one that, although I took out the plastic cover, None of this has been played, none of it. And it's the last T-shirt. It's the other copy that I use. So uh, as you can see, the booklet's in superb condition. It's never been opened. It still has that T-shirt. It has that T-shirt. And it's staying in there. It's the other one that I opened. I really, really opened and played and all. So that's it for the first video of my OPM, my Pinoy Rock CD collection. When I come back, probably not for the third episode of Rick's music collection, I'll probably feature some other stuff. Might go vinyl, probably will go vinyl for that one. Okay. So it's kind of long. I have no idea how long this one is, but thanks for watching, and it gives you an idea of what I have. So keep it right here to Rick's music collection. Thanks everyone for watching. Bye bye.